what happened in between those years of playing all these festivals and moving to LA? I know there was a period where you started to make music and you weren't really sure what your sound was and you weren't landing songs on these labels that you were really hoping to fit in with. Like, tell me about when you made the decision to start making music and the first couple years there.
Yeah, I really started making music or trying to. At the same time, I started trying to DJ. Also, it was just uh, a big effort that I threw all of my extra time into. And I'm not gonna lie, the the roadmap for production and learning your sound is so all over the place, and that's
Yeah.
why every time I talk to a new producer, I just tell them like, let things happen, just keep grinding, just let things pan out how they're gonna pan out, because they will eventually. There'll be little things that happen on your path that will kind of push you in a direction that makes sense for you. And so yeah, I mean, it's just been 8 years of trial and error. And the hard thing too that I found was when I started producing music, I would look at artists who are already out there and I'd be like, I want to be like them.
Yeah.
And really, you want to pull from them what inspires you and kind of translate it in your own language. And that's for me how I found my sound. And label wise, it gets tricky because a lot of labels want to sign records that sound like there are other things that they're signing, and if you don't fit that mold, you almost start to think I suck. So
Mm.
that's when I started my record label Arrow Recordings, and it was really just to have an outlet to push my music out when I wanted to put it out, not have to sit on it for too long. So my label's still alive, but I think I'm going to be renaming. I think I'm going to be relaunching with a different label, which I haven't really spoken about much,
Yeah.
but that's kind of my goal moving forward. I have a new label that I want to launch. I'm just not sure when.
Cool.
Coronavirus really threw a wrench in that plan.
Girl, I know. In everybody's plans.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. So that's very
right.
exciting. What is it that you want the new label to represent? Is it a sound or a style or an ideology?
Yeah, it's kind of. I just wanted to represent this kind of musical clarity that I've found over the years, because I really do feel like starting at the end of 2019, I started really stepping into my sound and my pocket and what felt normal and natural. And so I wanted to represent that. And then a lot of artists that are making records that I love, that I think deserve a platform. So I think there's a fine line with having a record label and how you operate it, because for me at least, I really want to make sure that I'm giving everything to these records when I sign them. I
Yeah.
want to make sure I'm doing the right PR, I'm getting the right DJ servicing and radio servicing. Um, so it's just a process, but I know I'll get there, get everything put together sooner or later.
It seems like every DJ's secret dream to start a label. I feel like
Yeah,
everyone kind of gets to a point where they're like, you know what, I'm tired of waiting around for other people.
yeah, it's a interesting thought process because I never wanted to be a label owner. I
Mm-hmm.
don't, I want to be able to be my own artist, and I think that is just a big part of it.
Who's this musical mentor? That's so cool. How did you meet them?
So actually, when I first moved to LA, I started releasing on a label, Perfect Driver,
Yes, Perfect Driver.
and
I was trying to think of that earlier.
yeah, and the label had Matt Anthony. He was good friends and actually lived in the same apartment building as his name's John Pignato,
Uh-huh.
and icon instructor.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
so
Shout out Icon.
yeah, shout out Icon. So John actually reached out to Matt and was like, "Hey, do any of your artists want to start doing mentor sessions and like one-on-one coaching?" And I jumped on that opportunity. So it's been um, 3 4 years of working with him and just doing one-on-one sessions. And I'll send him stuff and he'll be like, sometimes he'll just be like, "Send me this track. I need to tweak the bass line," or something like that. And it's just really nice to have that constant feedback, even when it hurts,
Yeah,
or like
yeah.
or help. So yeah, it's been a really great relationship, and I'm super thankful for him.
That's awesome. John Marco in the chat said hot mouth. I don't know if that's
Oh yeah, yeah. So John used to actually be a DJ producer under the the name Hotmouth, and he was also at one point part of LA Riots.
Oh yes, LA Riots. It's good. Back in
So
2011, when I was hanging out going to college parties, we were definitely jamming to LA Riots.
yeah, for sure. So he's had his fair share of time in the industry, which has been helpful. Sometimes I'll call him and I'm like, what the fuck? They're doing this when I'm playing this show. The promoter's telling me this. And John will be like, calm down. This is the industry. Like,
Yeah.
you have to deal with it. Or he'll help me redirect that energy elsewhere. So
Yeah.
it's really great across the board.
That's so rad. So did you say you went to Icon, or you were just familiar with? Yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
When I actually started learning production, I had some different artists in Chicago that they would let me come into their studio and just hang out and watch them. Actually, Win and Woo were the duo. They live out here now, but they helped me a ton just getting familiar with Ableton. And the coolest thing was the community in Chicago. They never asked for anything in return. It was always just lifting each other up. And so it's something that, it was an environment I was really able to thrive in. And so I was thankful when I got to come here that I was able to find mentorship still to help me along the way.
Absolutely. I think that we all desire that sort of guidance from time to time. It's tough doing anything on your own. Nobody gets to the top all by themselves.
And it's been hard to learn that over time too, because I remember one time I was sitting with Chris Lake and I was like, Chris, I'm doing everything on my own. I'm mixing my tracks, I'm mastering my tracks, I'm engineering them, I'm doing all, and he's like, why are you making it so hard on yourself? He flat out was like, listen, you should have somebody else mixing your tracks down. I've done it for years. I've gone in and out of having help like that. So, I think the better team you can have around you is like, that's the key to it all. And I have a huge team, amazing team. I have 2 managers. They have their assistants. I have my agent. So it's just like, it's a team that I'm very, very thankful for. I'll say that.